Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be doing some. Oh, 1 sec. I'm not able to get in the client. There we go. Today we're going to be doing a 63 TR off, Prelude off, but the Prelude decks and companies in the game. It's currently a beautiful weekend here, and the Olympics are playing, which has been a lot of fun for us. We're big Olympic fans here at home. Though it's weird because we're like 12 hours away from Tokyo time, Olympics 2020. So yeah, we get to see like the early morning stuff, like 8 in the morning to whatever. And then we go to bed, and then we wake up to like the 8 to 10 o'clock at night last rounds. But I feel like you miss most of like the finals and medal matches. You get to see the prelims, but not the other stuff. It's a lot of context for something that we're not doing right now. So let's talk again about how Vitor is so good if you can get cost reduction and a bunch of cards to go with that here. Vitor's also really good if you can get some sort of like long-term terraforming effort happening, something like Soletta, for instance. You get that rolling, and then you're good over the course of the game. Something like Rad Suits is fantastic. It's $6 for an income, and you pay $3 for the card, but you get $3 back when you play the Vitor. You need anti-grab. SF Memorial is really good, and I would normally grab it with Vitor, but I'm already heavy on points. Points per Jovian, a Deimos down, and we're feeling pretty good about this run. Between Giant Ice Asteroid and Deimos down, and honestly, here's the invention contest. I don't know what to tell you. We're going really heavy with very little production early on, and it's going to be a little bit of a struggle to figure out exactly what we want to do. So we're going to invention contest for a little bit more. Here's a science tag, which is fantastic. It's going to get us, first we're going to play Rad Suits because that'll get us money back when we play it. And then Solar Wind Power gets us that energy production, so we can think about doing something like Development Center. Maybe we'll grab Soletta. We don't need Soletta super early because we have Giant Ice Asteroid and Deimos down. That's 5 heat bumps, but 7 heat income would be pretty great, even if we can just get it like next turn, for instance. A wild tag is really good. I don't think we need to lose points for heat, again, because we have so much going on. A Jovian tag could be really good, because we're already thinking of Ganymede here, and that could be the heat. Maybe we don't need Soletta after all, if I get Beam from a Thorium, for instance. So that gets us some stuff to do. Instead of buying, I could buy Development Center now and start drawing cards. Instead of doing that, we're going to take our money to the next round, all of it, and we're basically going to hope for a little bit better here. Media Group is fantastic. Now all of a sudden our events can get us money back. Circophiles will really help, and discounts would really help, but again, I can't get too far off the path here. I really do like Circophiles. It'll pay itself off so well over the course of this game that I can't not grab it. But then what to do? Because we're in a very tricky spot. It feels like. I think we're arguably going to Psychrophiles because that gets us income. And then I might spend one more turn doing nothing. It's a really slow start, even for Vitor. And then what? Beam from a Thorium? It's just a tad bit tricky where we don't really have the money to get started on what we want to be doing here. Another space event, another points per Jovian, and another science tag. Like, we're being offered too many good cards because it's now difficult for me to get started in this game. But I can't stay away from a space event, I can't stay away from a science tag, and I can't stay away from a points per Jovian. What's tricky is that for $4, I can get the wild tag I need from Beam from a Thorium. And actually, no, I think that works out perfectly. It does, $32. So now we have a lot of energy and heat. We do not need Soletta, very likely, even though we... Well, I don't know. Maybe we do still want something like that. Another really good Jovian, really cheap. Points. Noctis farming is actually really good for us because we have the plant tag on it. Protected Valley would help a lot in terraforming the planet, but we really cannot afford to be any slower than we already have been. What is our science tag count at? We have 1 science tag and 1 wild tag. That's 2. That's not close enough to 7. We're not going to try and run up for that yet. I need energy tags to enable fusion power. Oh god. Alright, so we're going to start getting bumps here in a second. We could get electro catapult, but I have no plant income or metals. Like, I have no metals coming in. I think I just need to start terraforming, because as much as all of this is fine, we're way too behind the curve here. Yeah, we're well behind the curve. Oh, I do have enough. I do have energy tags. How do I, where? Oh, because I played these bad boys. Yeah. So does that mean we want a media group into Comet, which we could do? It's pretty good. Or do we play long term here and just get the energy income? You know what? Let's go a little bit long term and get the energy income and the card draw, and we'll start drawing up cards. We got research, which is fantastic. That gets us to 6 science. The problem is that we have so little income that we're gonna be hurting. We're gonna be hurting quite a bit here. And as much as these cards are interesting and good, we just cannot afford to go down that path. I think that we just need to get our $2 discount on everything, which we're a science tag away from, right? Yes. Well, we're going to chase it. We're going to chase it. Science tag me? No, not quite. But Ice Asteroid, very good. Extreme Cold Fungus and Symbiotic is a little bit of an overlap. But all these space events are going to come in really well if we get that discount played. If we get money back on events. We already have money back on events, but if we get money back on space events, we're kind of holding out here for a really strong later game. There's a science tag. It's not the one we wanted. And I'm giving up really good cards to chase science here, but I cannot help but say that it is required. We'll see if we draw a cheaper science tag so that we can get our discount this generation. We did not. Here's the thing though, adaptation technology into anti-grav is possible because of the $3 rebate. So we do that, then we do this, and then we have $2 off of everything. Something like our bad boy here, Noctis Farming, we can play with microbes, and we're going to get $3 back because we're Vitoring very powerfully now. And then everything else, though, is going to have to wait. So next generation, we're going to start doing things. We're just really, we're really behind. Another points per Jovian that, honestly, we're quite frankly almost never going to be able to play. But it's fine. We're going to have to try for it. We have not enough income in all our different categories to really make these things work, to be honest. But we get money back on events after I play this, and we'll be getting money back on points cards. So there's a chance that things will go a little bit better. I just played our card for money back on events. We're gonna do the heat bump this turn and get an ocean played, so that we get that extra heat income. And now with a couple oceans played, we could do cloud seeding. It will generate a greenery over the course of the game. I have how many plant tags? I have 1 plant tag, 1 wild tag. So something like nitrogen rich is not impossible. Here's a bunch of the income cards and points cards and stuff that would have been good. But we're too far behind on it now. Actually, I should not have grabbed nitrogen rich because I'm already doing so well for heat bumps between Deimos Down and Giant Ice Asteroid. That was a fumble on my part. Let's keep drawing a card here, hoping for a little bit more to dig us out of this situation we find ourselves in. Tropical Resort isn't bad if I do feel like the heat's going to overrun. It's 3 income a turn, but we're not there yet. The $2 off makes this all very feasible, but we're not quite there. Ice Asteroid seems worthwhile. We'll draw 2 cards, and then we'll figure out what we're doing. Plantation? Not bad. We can play that almost immediately. But where would we want to play it? Would we want to plant up over here? I think so. So we should be able to play it because we have microbes. So that gets us our first heat bump, a little bit of steel back, which is nice. And honestly, the 3 income could really grease our wheels here. So we're gonna assume that we have enough heat between our space events, and we need to play our space events, so it makes sense. Another ocean, another event here, which is fantastic. Soil factor, again, we love to go for all these points card, but the problem with our Vitor run right now is that we didn't get income early enough, so now we're desperate to terraform, so we're not able to buy the points cards that synergize with the build we want to be doing. It's you know, it's a tragic happenstance that we find ourselves in here. Let's play this bad boy for our steel, because we'll get $3 back here. At least we have 2 Jovians played with much more on the horizon. Nitrogen rich, we can play it. We have the 3 plant tags required, so that's absolutely what we're going to do. And then everything else is just fine. We're not playing Soletta. That was a big waste. Could sell Symbiotic and Extreme Cold Fungus. Extreme Cold we can still play, but not for very long. Cloud Seeding is almost certainly not going to net us as many plants as we need it to. But selling 4 cards gets us up to $8. That's not enough to play anything worthwhile. Unless I sold 1, 2, 3 cards, 4, 5, and then played Cloud Seeding. Arguably Cloud Seeding could be interesting. Let's start looking at cards you'd sell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give up on all the points. Play the Cloud Seeding. At least then we get 6 plants out of it. And we already got a bunch of plant income now. So now all of a sudden we are cooking for plant income. Mangrove will help for sure. Lagrange is so nice. But again, we do not have the discounts we need for all this stuff. Even with the $3 back, that pays for paying for the card, but does not pay for itself. It does draw us a card, but this is not a points run anymore. This is a surviving run. So let's see if we can survive. A little bit of oxygen here. Deimos Down is a fantastic card. Deimos Down gets us up into here. Is Convoy from Europa more pragmatic? Leaves us with a little bit more to play with, but there's nothing I need to do, so Deimos Down will just give us more TR, so we'll take that. We get money back. Going into the penultimate round, more income cards way too late, more what have yous, just it's all too late. We have what we need to do in our hand. We cannot deviate at this point. Giant Ice Asteroid would be phenomenal here, because we are going to build a pocket for our plants. A pocket full of sunshine, you gotta know they're all my love. And yeah, we're just going for full money back, the best we can do money back, so that goes there. We've got lots of grain replacements available to us. Convoy from Europa, another great card. Mangrove is fine, so we'll play Mangrove. Then we can Heather. Sadly, we're just outside of being able to do some of the things I wanted to here. I mean, I can overpay for you to get some money back, but we're not quite there. So we have a heat bump coming from oxygen. We have a heat bump coming from here. 7 and 6 is just shy of 2 heat bumps, so I guess we did screw up the heat. And then we have all these points per Jovians that are not going to be useful. And not to mention we need all this oxygen and an ocean remains. So if I had to bet, I would argue that this was not the Vitor run we were hoping for. And I don't know what to tell you about it other than we got problems. We're going to greenery into here so we can get into this pocket, and then that leaves us with enough money. We'll go here because that's $4 and 2 plants, so that gets us the heat bump. We still didn't need an ocean. I could do water import from Europa, but to what end, right? We'll just buy greeneries to get the oxygen as high as possible. It's a fine way of scoring points when, quite frankly, nothing's gone right. So every time I buy a greenery, it's only worth 2 points, one for the oxygen, one for the greenery, but it gets us closer to the true amount of terraforming we would have done. I would have done much more points had I just played my 3 points per Jovian, but we would have been at 7% oxygen instead of 11. So this gives us a representative. We were 1 heat bump, 1 ocean, 3 oxygen away with a lot of points cards in our hands that would have been nice, but would just never landed. And that is the sadness of Vitor. I cannot scoop 3 plants with this placement. I have no city to put it beside anyway. There you go. Done. Yeah, chances are I'm going to record another run right now because this one I think is going to leave people a little bit sad. So at least you won't have as much a delay in episodes coming out. But yikes. We did our best here. I promise we did our best. I should have maybe re-rolled, but, one Vitor run you do, you score in the 140s. The next Vitor run you do, you lose with a 70. Sometimes you start with all the good cards early, you buy them all. And the good cards, I mean the ones that help you terraform. So you buy them all because you know you need them, but then you never get the engine going. So even when you play them later on, you never had enough benefit to get in shooting range for those cards to save you. So it just so happens today wasn't really our day for Vitor. We didn't get to lean into getting our rebates at all. I hope you enjoyed. I sure did. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao for now.